Today is a great day for all of us. It's a milestone, actually, because it's been a long road in terms of One Health coordination. We had a long history of collaboration using the One Health approach with the example of antimicrobial resistance, but it was not complete because, you know, there are many One Health issues, and today we are witnessing the evolution of that kind of coordination mechanism into something much bigger, much greater and more inclusive.
Our journey has been very interesting, exciting, because we're finally here. But when we started, if I may take you back, Zimbabwe realized that we really needed to implement the One Health. In fact, His Excellency realized that. And so with his cabinet, way back in 2022, they decided that there's need for a secretariat, which includes high-powered technical people from the three One Health ministries, Ministry of Health and Child Care, Environment, as well as Agriculture. And they put them there together. And so they were implementing, and they focused more on the antimicrobial resistance initiative. But even with just that one priority, an assessment that was then done by our University of Zimbabwe COHESA team actually documented the fact that we really had institutionalization of the One Health initiative. We had a number of challenges, including the coordination itself.
This process was a very protracted one, but very fruitful, thought-provoking, bringing in multiple stakeholders, which were consulted. We also consulted guiding documents from the quadripartite, specifically the joint plan of action on how to implement this National One Health Strategic Plan. So it was a process that took us almost a year, from September 2024 to September 2025, developing, and then it has culminated in the production of the book, which was eventually launched today.
For ISA AfriCenter, I would say that we did make a contribution towards anchoring this strategic plan. One, we did a stakeholder net mapping to understand the connections and the relationships among the different actors within One Health in Zimbabwe. It was very, very important to understand how stakeholders are relating with one another, how they are connected, what kind of relationships exist, because that helped us to understand that the siloed approach, where each ministry was handling their own component. For example, the Ministry of Health looking at human health, Ministry of Agriculture looking at the agricultural issues and agricultural health, plant health, and then the Ministry of Environment looking at environmental issues. Every one of them is at par, and so we realized that the only way to have a truly national One Health platform is to anchor this plan at a higher level, where the ministries get their mandate from. And that is how we started engaging. We were able to engage, to advocate, to do a lot of advocacy. We developed an action plan, advocacy action plan, that helped in getting the attention of the presidency. And that is why we are so excited now that this national strategic plan is at that level, meaning that all the ministries and all the actors and the stakeholders can now work together.
I think our Ministry of Health and Child Care was struggling to really call everybody on board. Each ministry does not always want to be called by another ministry. And so when that evidence came to us in the Office of the President and Cabinet, we said, there's the evidence that we really need to step up and ensure that we are coordinating the three ministries and other ministries, departments and agencies that have anything to do with One Health. So we set out on this journey to develop this Zimbabwe National One Health Strategic Plan, and it covers 2026 to 2030. And we started off in 2024, September, to September 2025 rather, when we finally finalized the draft and we submitted through our Vice President, Comrade Mohadi, and indeed the three ministers signed on the dotted line for the cabinet memo that we developed to say submit to cabinet, so that other ministries were also on board. And so it was presented there in 23 September Cabinet approved it. We were so excited. We then ran with it to say, that's not good enough. We must make sure that the highest level launches it so that we have the buy-in of everybody. The community is invited, the university that was supporting us, that's the COHESA, One Health University of Zimbabwe COHESA multiplier initiative. They all came, and you could see them today that they were all here.
It's a first for me to be even involved in the launching of a national strategy. It's amazing, and we are very grateful for the partnership, for the support, and of course for the University of Zimbabwe for enabling us to get the time and facilities to be involved in COHESA in its multidimensional characteristic. But we are also grateful to the EU funding partner and even CIRAD and ISA AfriCenter for facilitating and giving us financial support and technical support as we implemented the capacitating One Health in East and Southern Africa.
This is a very, very important and significant milestone for Zimbabwe. Now they have a truly national One Health strategic plan that is anchored at the highest level of the land at the office of the President. And we are here, the launch by the Vice President also marks a major milestone to show the commitment and the support that implementation of the strategic plan is going to have in this country.
Since we now have the One Health strategic plan, which is a roadmap that is going to guide all stakeholders from the different sectors, we are moving forward with convening the specific individuals that will be responsible for driving the implementation of this strategy with the full involvement of all the relevant sectors. So I think the starting point now will be those engagements and meetings that bring all the stakeholders together, looking at the plan and coming up with work plans that we implement at intervals until we reach the 5-year mark. And then of course we have moments of reflection, mid-term or maybe right at the end. But I think the other important aspect that is going to be a way forward is the resource mobilization side of things, because the activities that we set out to do, they need to be supported. And that's why the high-level support comes in quite handy.
We are actually planning and making sure that as the 3 ministers are going to implement, we are still going to be there to support them. If we see any gaps opening up, we step in and we support them. The strategic plan, if you look at the governance structure, it continues pitching it at the highest level. And we've linked it with the National Public Health Institute that we, again, from the Office of the President, are pushing and supporting to make sure that is put in place through an act of Parliament.